So today we're going to talk about your favorite thing. Like you were so excited to talk about this today, marriage.
Yeah, I'm going to try and model for my male clients how to communicate in a couple session.
Oh, okay.
Because,
Modeling,
often, and maybe many people can relate to this who are many of the therapist friends of mine, but also people that have been in couples therapy. The wife makes the appointment and the husband comes begrudgingly and doesn't really want to be there. That seems to happen a lot in couple sessions that I have facilitated before. But before we do that, like we've done in past episodes, let's start with our hunt the good stuff. Babe, what do you have that's good or that you appreciated or looking forward to? Yes, you can go next, of course. Yeah.
Can you go for? No,
Yeah.
It's tough sometimes because, like,
tough.
I'm trying to think of.
Agree.
Well, I think I go back to the gratitude piece of just I'm grateful for this opportunity because, and even the evolution of our relationship because I don't know, 15 years ago we wouldn't be sitting here talking about this.
Right.
5 years ago we wouldn't have ever dreamed we would be on a podcast talking about this.
Yeah.
So I'm grateful for that. That's my That's
good.
my
Thanks,
good
babe. Yeah. Thanks. This week I'm grateful for, and obviously I don't want to violate HIPAA, so I'm not going to name names, but I do have a client who had a really good breakthrough with his spouse,
Nice.
which is great because we get to talk about that kind of stuff today. And I can sort of share how we got to that point with him. But I'm really grateful. As a therapist, we're human too. And for all therapists out there, future therapists, students out there that want to get into this, I think it's really important to recognize your good stuff, to hunt that good stuff that you're having with clients because you help them get to that spot. And, we're real humans too. We go through a whole wide range of emotions just like everybody else. And so my hunt the good stuff this week is I had a great client session that he had a breakthrough and it made a big difference in his life. And I'm like, hey, that's really cool.
Yeah.
Win one for the good guys.
Nice.
Yeah.
I love it.
Okay, so marriage. Yikes. Big topic.
It is.
What do you want to know? This is it. I'm stuck. Open book. Here we go.
I know. The only thing missing is that we're not we're facing each other.
Facing
we're
each other.
Side by side.
Yeah,
but
true.
It'll be
This
okay.
might actually be really good. I might have to do this in my couple sessions with my clients. Make them stare at each other.
Oh, dear.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah.
Well, maybe. We can try it.
Yeah.
Okay, so these are things I want to know. Inquiring minds want to know.
Yeah.
When you how many patients do you or how many couples do you see?
Oh gosh,
30, 40 couples.
Well, typically I've in any given week I see 25 to 30 clients. I would say probably right now I've got 8 couples that I'm working with.
Okay.
Yeah. So and they come in either weekly or biweekly.
Okay.
Depending on their schedules.
So what if you what are the 3 top reasons that people come to see you? What couples come to see you? Not people, but when married,
when they show up,
they're like, we're getting couples counseling. The wife has made the appointment, as you say. What are their issues?
Yeah. Okay. Issue number 1, and this is pretty standard issue in couples counseling, is they're complaining about communication, a lack of communication. Okay. And I think what happens.
I've been in the office.
Yeah.
They communicate fine. They're loud.
Oh, yeah.
They're yelling.
Yeah. I feel,
they're communicating in a way.
Okay. So that reminds me of like a session we had a couple weeks ago. I facilitate a lot of student interns.
Right.
And because, somebody did that for me back in the day. And so
You're
we're paying it forward. Yeah. Always a teacher.
You're always
well, thanks, babe. Yeah. I try to be.
Yeah.
And so I was really excited for her because she had her first couple session coming up and she was sitting back there and she was planning. And I was like, hey, what are you doing? And she's like, well, I'm planning out everything I'm going to say. And I like, good luck with that. Right. And I just walked away. And she was like, what did Dr. Raver mean?
Vulnerable.
Yeah.
She
like,
didn't know what to do now.
And I'm like, no. Like, go for it. Like, that's good. Right. Like plan it all out. It's like a lesson plan. Right. Okay. Like it's almost like a coaching strategy. Sure. Yeah. Good luck. Right. Mm-hmm. Well, like Mike Tyson said, everyone has a plan until they get punched in the face.
It's true.
And so like
Well said.
30 seconds into this couple session, all everyone hears in the entire clinic is yelling, and they're just going at it. She, to her credit, it seemed to calm down. She wrangled them. She got control of the couples session, and then an hour later they walk out, and they seemed okay.
I think I saw the end of it.
Yeah, you did, I think. And she was like, she stopped by my office and she just went, oh. And I went, how'd that plan go? And she was like, I didn't say one thing. And I'm like, now you know. Now you know, right? So back to your question, the number one thing that people come in for most often is they're not communicating. And I tried to help them understand, I think, that it's more of a comprehension problem. It's a listening comprehension problem.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's issue number one.
They're saying a lot.
They are talking a lot.
Does it mean
right,
anything?
right. And so we start there with understanding what each other is saying, sure. Right? And then it goes back to something on a previous episode that we talked about, positive versus negative assumptions.
Sure.
And that's where the biggest leap was for my Hunt the Good Stuff was for that client. And so I think it's a comprehension issue. And from there, we can sort of understand behavior and what is being left unsaid. But it is, they're communicating. See, that's the thing is that they don't understand it, is they think they're not talking, but they are. If 80% of communication is nonverbal, then that 80% is a language all by itself.
And it's screaming.
Yeah, they're doing something. They're saying something with that nonverbal. Mm-hmm. And so that's usually where I start in sessions, is kind of getting to understand that. So that may not be a top 3, but every session kind of starts that way.
Right.
Is they're not communicating effectively, which means they're not listening effectively and they're not understanding effectively.
They're not listening to understand.
They sure are not. They are not.
They're listening to be heard.
They're listening and they're misunderstanding, okay. Right? What the language is.
Got it.
So that, that's number 1, number 2, number 3, and number 4.
Oh.
That's all of them. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Come on, give me another topic.
Well, okay.
I mean, I know that's a big one, but
it's a big one. The difference between what their greatest fears are inside that relationship, and that can take a turn and get very I guess I don't know what the word is though. So give you an example. I work with a lot of military families. A lot of expectations with our active duty soldiers. They go in the field a lot. They're not only do they deploy, but even when they're home, they're not always home, right? Because they're in the field, they're training, they're going to National Training Center for a month at a time. So I've got the spouses are having a hard time because they don't feel chosen. So the greatest fear that they have inside their relationship is to not be important and to be left behind, to be neglected. Very much like what we talked about before as a coach's wife. But on the flip side, that soldier is often like, well, that's my job. This is how I provide for the family. My job is to provide, well, right? And so that conflict happens a lot.
And I because we've been around the military so much, mm-hmm. I think that they're right, mm-hmm. that is a realistic fear. Because the bottom line is, if the military wanted you to have a spouse, they would have issued you one.
True. Right.
And that is not what happens, right?
Right.
And
right,
so
right.
we are all, what it was like when we were, living on post, and how many lines and all of the things that you have to do to just kind of function.
Yeah.
It is difficult, and you are trained to detach. You are trained.
Yeah.
Our job is to keep your family safe at home, to keep your kids educated, to keep these things so that you can go be the best tactical athlete and soldier you can be, right? And so that is the way it's designed, and it's not for everybody. That's just my...
Correct. No, you're right. Working with, and that's a great way to explain the military population and the uniqueness that goes with that lifestyle. There are multiple challenges that others don't face, and that's certainly one of them. I think but sometimes when they come in, they're hitting on some of the same issues that are not unique to just them.
Okay.
That are across the board for a lot of families. You have one spouse or maybe both spouses are working, and it becomes this tit for tat, push and pull, fight for who's right kind of quest of like, well, I'm out working and I'm providing and I'm making all this money, and so I am doing what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm not neglecting you. I'm doing it for you. And that's not what the other spouse really wants all the time. They want you. They don't want that. And so I get that a lot in counseling. So that's, again, comprehension issue.
Sure.
And so they have to, but they're not listening for understanding, like you said earlier. And so that is kind of where my role comes in. And so I have a kind of a unique thing that I like to do in sessions to sort of break that down. It breaks down the wall of who made the appointment, whose insurance is paying for this, and who wants to be here and who doesn't want to be here. So when a couple comes in, I immediately I go through the rules and all the things, the HIPAA rules and whatever, right? And it's not whatever, it's what we have to do. But I say
it's official.
I've said it 10,000 times. At this point, it's whatever. But I have a different rule for couple sessions. And I make them like picture, if their marriage was a living, breathing organism, what would it be? And I kind of like to have fun with it a little bit, make them describe it to me. What color would it be? What shape would it be?
Oh, I have to hear this.
Well, they get to choose.
What would ours be?
Ooh. It would be a sunshine, babe.
Oh my gosh,
It would
that's
be
a lie.
It would be
You're full of shit. What would it be?
I don't know. I never really thought about that actually for us. Like, what would it be? What color would we pick to represent our marriage?
A color or an organism?
We'll pick a color first, because if we're using finger paints, we got to pick a color first.
Oh my. I mean, I'm just sitting
I
here.
think something bright.
I'm sitting here scrolling through these people. I'm just envisioning these people come in. They're pissed off.
Yeah.
They
black,
can't, he's
black.
breathing.
My color's
and it's
black.
annoying the shit out of me. He's breathing near me. Black or brown. You know, when you mix all the colors together, it's just gross.
Yeah, some of their living, breathing, like it would be just the shit emoji above there.
100%.
Right.
100%.
Well, maybe I should tweak what I'm doing. But anyway,
I don't know. Sorry,
the whole point of this exercise that I have them do is, one, I want to see how they communicate. Are they on the same page? So that I'm getting some intel right away, right? I'm getting some, but I'm also, I throw them a curveball, which lightens the mood a little bit. But what I'm really trying to get at is, okay, you take this living, breathing organism and you suspend it up here above the both of you, and the both of you have to feed this organism for it to survive. So your marriage is a living, breathing thing that if you don't feed
like
it...
a parasite? What are we talking about?
In some cases, yes. Right? Yeah.
It's a barnacle?
Exactly. No, it's this living, breathing thing that if they wanted to grow into something great, they both have to feed it, right?
Okay. Got it.
And
it's a joint effort is
it
what
is
you're
a joint
trying to
effort.
exemplify.
But I also tell both of them, say, look, from this moment forward, that living, breathing thing, whether it's a barnacle or a shit emoji, whatever they give me, and I got to work with it. That's part of being a counselor, right? If you're a good clinician, you work with what you got. So the living, breathing organism that is above them that they're supposed to be feeding, I tell them that is my client. Your marriage is now my client. Neither of you are my client. Your marriage is my client.
Okay.
And but I will also, if you mess with my client, I will mess with you back. I will tell you that you are fucking with my client and you need to stop. Right? Because you are taking away from the marriage, you're not putting in.
Got it.
And so that sort of sets the stage for what we're doing. And so helping them understand that they both have to contribute, and then we just kind of go from there. And we talk about communication and the comprehension and listening to understand. And we talk about sort of their greatest fears. Like, what are their greatest fears inside this relationship? What are you afraid that she's going to do? What are you afraid that he's going to do? And what are you doing to feed that, right? Are you feeding that? Are you feeding into their fear or not? Or are you protecting them? You know, that's a big deal. That's a hard concept for a lot of people to understand. And once we get that ball rolling and they're kind of on board with, oh, I see what I'm doing to feed my spouse's fear, then I think we can start to make some progress. Yeah.
Interesting.
I don't know if it's interesting or not. It's just what I do.
No, I'm just sitting there thinking, because I think about how hard it is, because we're all wired a certain way, right?
Yeah.
You have I'm
Sure.
going back to a little attachment theory. You kind of you have a roadmap from the way that you were parented and the relationships that you had. And so I think about that default response, whatever it is, whether it's to be fearful or be defensive or withdraw or whatever, right? And then that creates this chain reaction, right? So if I'm fearful of you hurt my feelings, so I'm going to be independent. I don't need you anymore. I got this. No, I don't care. I've got it. I don't need you. Move on.
Yeah.
Because I can protect myself that way.
Yeah.
And I don't have to be vulnerable with you or admit that you hurt my feelings or anything like that.
Yeah.
Then you go, oh, she's mad. She's mad at me. Now there's space. Oh my gosh, maybe she's going to leave. I don't know. You start to withdraw, which perpetuates I'm pissed.
Right.
Because here I am. I was already struggling.
Yeah.
Now you're pulling away from me even further. And that's why you're the shit emoji.
Yeah.
That's why it becomes
Well, you
that.
just in that example that I see that is a very common example about how things can cycle and how you can trigger me and I can trigger you, and now the cycle begins. Right? We can get wrapped up in our own little downward spiral. Right? We can catastrophize together.
Yeah.
And create the catastrophe together. And in your example, you highlighted basically all of Gottman's 4 horsemen of the relationship apocalypse, right? Where it starts with criticism and then turns into contempt and resentment, and it results in some defensiveness and even stonewalling, like withdrawing. Like, I'm going to withdraw and we're not going to talk about this anymore. We're not going to address it.
Right.
If any of those 4 are present, then your relationship is on life support, right? And so I think what we've done a good job of in our 26 years of marriage. I know. I'm not even going to make you tell everyone what our anniversary is.
The fact that we forgot it.
Well, we did.
We both forgot our anniversary this year. How does that happen? You have prided yourself for all these years.
I know. I was on a good streak.
I always forget.
I was on a good streak.
And you always remember. And then.
I felt good that we both forgot.
Yeah, me too.
That made it funny.
It made me feel real good.
Yeah.
It wasn't me this time.
Yeah. I'm not. Thank God for our youngest who asked us the day after.
How
was your anniversary?
We don't know.
We don't know. What?
Oh.
Yeah.
Hey,
Oops.
glad somebody's paying attention.
But we've, I think, done a pretty good job in 26 years of holding off those 4 horsemen of the apocalypse. Certainly, those 4 have been
of the
present.
marriage apocalypse.
Yeah, have been present at times. But we've got some antidotes to those that I think we want to share with other people.
Sure.
Yeah. Okay. So what are some antidotes for us? What have we done that has kept our stuff going?
Well, I first want to say that we've evolved together, which was super
Big
helpful.
deal. Well,
We grew together.
Okay. I will also say even before that, though, I think key number 1 is we are each other's best friends.
100%. I like you.
You got to be. Yes, you like me
helps.
a little bit. Like, it does help a lot, right? That we are friends.
And I find you interesting.
Yeah.
Because if I was bored,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, that's true.
I'm just being honest.
Well, you're like a squirrel, so I can hold the squirrel's attention. Right. Okay, so we like each other and we evolved in the same direction together.
Yes.
Okay. That's a big deal.
I think so.
Yeah.
So I think we do have some rituals. I think one of the things that, because we're workaholics also. You have to admit it.
Yeah, even when
First step is
even
to
when
admit.
even when we're trying to have fun, we're working.
We're doing work, yeah.
Yeah,
So the first step is to admit you have a problem. We have a problem. So we work, 12, 14, 16 hours a day.
Yeah.
And so one of the things that we had to do, and I'm a pattern recognition person.
you
I
are very
pick
good
up
at-
patterns quick.
yes. Oh, God, yes.
And the minute it's like my, it also gives me anxiety because once I see, oh gosh, this is becoming a pattern, I have to do something.
Yeah.
I have to disrupt it if it's negative, and that's not always good. I know that's not always good because it can be a little bit dramatic, maybe.
Disruptive.
Okay, disruptive, yes, per the term. But
Yeah.
so I noticed that what I noticed was I'm working all the time. You're working all the time. We see each other all the time. We see each other 30 minutes in the morning. We see each other maybe 45 minutes at the end of the day. We maybe get a gym workout in between there, and that's our only time together because that's the only time we're awake.
Yeah.
And then we do it again, and we were doing it for days and days and days and days at a time. And we're empty nesters. We should be having a great time, being naked in the house and having vacations and doing whatever. And we just didn't. We don't have the time. So I think one of the best decisions we made when we recognized that was an issue was to have hard stops.
Yes.
So on Wednesdays is date night, but Tuesdays and Thursdays used to be hard stop day. It's not anymore because we both teach. But
So the hard stop. Let's describe that to everybody. When we lived overseas, what we learned is we had to rely on each other, and relying on and not so much like we were in trouble, but like we didn't know anybody, and we dang sure didn't know the language. So we spent a lot of time together, and we developed a routine there. And so we kind of loosely call it the 7-7-7 rule. We
I
could
called
call
it the 2-2-2, but whatever.
True, but it's evolved into that. But like date night every 7 days. And so what we learned, and you again with patterns, like you identified this as a pattern, is as the work week goes on, we tend to get so wrapped up in work, we become further and further disconnected. And so we instituted a hard stop, meaning we both agreed we were going to be done at 6 p.m. every Wednesday night, period. It didn't matter what was going on at work. I'm not scheduling another patient. You not scheduling another meeting. And we are going to go to dinner. We're going on a date, just you and me. Now, have we been 100% successful at that? No. We've definitely had some in-progress reviews along the way. Some things come up, right? Like Wednesday's also your bunco night. So when you have, and that's okay. And I'm okay with that. But we communicate this ahead of time. There are times where I have an emergency at work. We communicate this ahead of time. At least we try to. Every 7 days, go out on a date. Every 7 weeks, try and go on an overnighter. Like go to another city, spend the night, and then come home. Like sleep in a different bed. Do something different.
Go on a taste adventure.
Taste adventures, exactly. Take date night on the road. And then trying to every 7 months do, like maybe not a full-fledged vacation, but more than one nighter, a weekend away, a couple days, a long weekend away.
I love hotel living.
I know, I love it too. It's wonderful, right? Only if the pillows are good.
I know.
But you like hotel living because you can turn the thermostat down to 42.
62?
No. Yeah. If it went to 40, it's only because it doesn't go below 62 in many of the places.
Just like that show we were watching, and it was an ice hotel.
No.
I feel really good about that.
Not going there.
I feel like that is really going to hit the spot.
That bed in Norway, whatever that place was.
It was an ice bed.
Was a block of ice.
Yes, but it had furs on it.
Okay. All right. The best I can do for you right now, outside of going to Norway, is I can take you to the nearest hockey arena and you go lay down on the ice.
Okay.
How about that?
I mean,
I'll give you a blanket.
I appreciate you thinking outside the box and compromising there.
I've always wanted to drive a Zamboni. You can lay on the ice.
Okay.
Okay, deal.
All right, make it
That's our next date night.
Yeah.
Look how great this was.
Look at this.
Okay, so 7-7-7, right? But starts with the hard stop. You have to agree to that.
Well, and early on in this process, we were just trying to see each other during the week.
Absolutely.
So we had Tuesdays and Thursdays were our hard stop days, and we didn't have a date night yet. Could we just agree to be home before dark? Yeah. That'd be great. Because part of the problem was we would get home, or I would get home, and then I would have to be on work calls for 3 hours. And that's counterintuitive, right? It's counterproductive.
Well, and to be fair, as a coach, when I was coaching, especially when I was coaching football, I did not see you nor our kids when there was sun out.
Ever.
I only saw you in the dark. I left at dark 30, and I didn't get home until it was
Kids
dark.
were usually asleep.
Yes. So there were 4, 5, 6, 7 months at a time, especially during basketball season. True, though, because that's in our winter months, is for half of the year, I did not see you guys when the sun was shining, which sucks. And I kind of like it that I get to see you now.
Yes.
Like, I know you got scared there for a second. I kind of like those. No, I didn't like those days at all.
I liked not having to deal with you.
And so we had to do that. So hard stop and being committed to each other. And what that means for each other, though, is like we're choosing each other over something else.
Well, and this was the piece that we had to learn, though. It wasn't, hey, it wasn't me calling you and say, hey, I've got something. I'm not going to be home at my hard stop. It was, hey, is it okay if I do this?
Yeah. Yeah.
Are you going to be okay if we da-da-da? Instead of me telling you this is what's happening, you had a choice.
Yeah,
and
that's true.
It was
You do
okay
ask.
for you to say, no, it's not. The rest of the week's going to fall apart. And I'm not, like, I've got things every night and no. And then I had to be a grown up and say, I'm sorry, I'm not going to be able to accommodate your request, whoever. And I have something else to do.
True. Yeah, that's true.
I think it's harder for you.
It is harder for me.
for you to do.
It is. It is certainly. It's not so much because I can block it off on my calendar, and no patients or clients can schedule that time. It's like the one that goes over. There's sometimes I can't control certain emergencies.
Sure.
I try and make that a rarity though. But I think that just the very act of it though just reminds us that we're important. I love date night with you because it reminds me of when we first started dating. Like everyone, you go out on a date with somebody, and maybe it's different nowadays because
they just talk. They don't.
They just talk. They meet online. I don't know how the hell this works anymore.
I don't either.
I really don't. Like I think they skip ahead with the dating apps. They just skip ahead so many. Like I think though there is a lot of value to going out on a first date and having all of that intense anxiety about am I going to hit it off with this person? Is this going to work? And then there is a realization, hopefully, in that first date that you say to yourself, I want more of this. That's the person. I want a second date. That's a huge moment. Us having date night always reminds me of that moment when I said, yep, I want more of that. That's it. I think that is important.
Yeah.
I don't know that people get that anymore if they're meeting on apps or,
I don't know.
or if they're just dating online. I don't even know how that works. But like,
it's just like that wedding that we went to, and the wedding guests, they had never met each other in person before.
Right.
Like they
were all
know
friends on Discord.
All on Discord, and they had never physically seen each other in the same space.
Friends, sight unseen.
Sight unseen friends that all showed up, and I was just like,
well, they had a blast.
They had the time of their life, and it showed me that there is a lid for every pot.
Yeah,
yes,
and there's just another way of doing things. But I know what date night does for me.
Yeah,
I don't know what it does for them, but I know what it does for me. Okay, what else? What are our other reasons for surviving this long? What else we got?
I mean, there's so many, and there's so little time. But
go ahead. No, you go.
I think
we let each other take turns.
Oh, we're taking. I think it's. I think we've gotten better about saying, like, we asked the question. So, what are you not saying right now?
Yeah.
What are you not telling me right now?
I know one thing you've also asked me. That you just made me think of something. So that's good. One, you inspire me. How about that?
Okay.
But even that, like, what are you not saying? And then what did you hear? You ask me all the time, like you say something and you're like, what did you get out of that? To clarify, because that goes back to something that the clients bring to me. Yeah. It's like they talk a lot, but they don't understand what each other is saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And because I know that I know you so well now, and I can read your micro expressions, like I can tell.
Yeah.
So especially when people are, I didn't know what you mean. Yes, you did. You just ignored that.
I got to work on my poker face.
Yeah. So I think that's that has provided me clarity because I know what my intentions are.
Yeah.
I know what I'm thinking. You also are matlocking me. You're also thinking, you're not even listening. And I was going to ask you this question. How much are you actually listening to me when I talk?
Can we cut now? Can we cut? Cut the podcast now?
I'm wondering.
Do I have to admit this? Okay, so look, that is a thinking trap. What we call in the therapy world a cognitive distortion.
Matlocking?
No, well, yes, but matlocking is a thinking trap. It's called mind reading. Like, I'll need to listen to you because I know what you're thinking.
No,
I'm sure of it. And why do I need to listen to all this? I already know what you're saying. But here she goes again.
But the matlocking is a step further.
Yeah.
Number one, I know what your argument is, and I'm already thinking about my counter argument.
Exactly.
I'm not listening to you anymore
Exactly.
because I'm thinking about what I'm going to
Yeah,
say.
absolutely.
Because I've got a good one saved
that's
up.
the mother of
right?
all marital thinking traps we fall into. I already know what she's going to say. I know how she's going to react. I know what she's thinking. And you know what? I don't need to communicate to you either because you should know what I'm thinking, right?
It's true. Yeah, I get it. I mean, I think
and so
you do that sometimes.
if I think that you should know what I'm thinking, so I shouldn't have to communicate with you, and I already know what you're thinking, then who the fuck is talking?
We shouldn't have to talk at all.
Like we should just stare at each other and see how far that gets us.
Awkward stare.
Yeah.
Let's try that.
Right. Now we're pretty good. We could probably figure that out, but not all the time.
But I think once we realize that, okay, that doesn't work.
Yeah.
Use your words. We make our kids use your words.
Yeah.
I think that made
That's
a
true.
difference.
We do make our kids do that, so we need to own up to that as well.
For sure.
Yeah. I think that's oftentimes clients are struggling with that.
So we've talked about evolving, and and we started communicating, and we've got these rituals and these things that just you and I do, and their routines and all of those things. As a spouse, as a good husband, I will say that on the front end.
Hey, thanks.
Great husband. What has been your biggest growth point in being in a relationship? Like,
ooh, this is the emotional portion of the podcast.
This is the vulnerable side.
The vulnerable side, where I'm supposed to model this for other guys who are in this situation, right? Possibly. Okay. As a young husband and a young dad and a guy that was trying to take a coaching career a certain direction, I thought to be a man was to be a good husband and good father, which meant be protector and provider, right? And go forth into this world and conquer for my family. I thought that's what I was supposed to do. I saw my dad work his ass off, spent many 13, 14, 15-hour days, didn't participate in a lot of our stuff because he was working. And that registered for me as what I'm supposed to do as a man. What I didn't know was what your greatest concerns were and fears were inside our marriage, was that we were potentially drifting apart, right? This coaching thing was causing us to drift. And I was dead set on, this is what I'm doing because I'm supposed to do it. And my growth point was realizing that finally listen for understanding. Listen to what she's saying. What is her fear? What does she want? And am I protecting her or not? And what am I doing to contribute to activating her fear? Am I activating her greatest fears? Now, I will also say I continue to struggle with that. That's the emotional, vulnerable thing today. It is a process, certainly. But understanding what your fears are and how can I protect you from that fear instead of activating that fear has been so eye-opening for me, which means sometimes I have to give up my own feelings of safety, which again, huge struggle because human nature is to be defensive. My fight or flight system says when something uncomfortable pops up, I fight or run. That's what I'm wired to do. All living creatures are wired to do that. I have to fight the urge to fight or run, get defensive or run away. 2 of the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse in marriages. I have to fight the instinct, fight that urge to fight back with defensiveness or run away and stonewall you, sacrifice my own safety to protect yours. But the coolest part about being able to do that for any husband, for any husband or wife, any significant other, okay, whatever you're labeling yourselves, is if you can sacrifice in that moment your own safety, listening to what is being said, and protect your significant other, you are actually doing what you were designed to do. You are being who you were meant to be. It's fascinating to me watching couples in couples counseling say, I'm a protector, I'm a provider, I'm the knight in shining armor, I want to be all these things. Then when the shit hits the fan, the first person you're protecting is you. That was what the growth point with that client was. Watching him not get defensive and fight back and protect his own feelings, He protected his wife and her concerns. I struggle with that. I know it. I know I should do better at it. Just because I'm a therapist doesn't make me perfect. I am still a human and I'm still evolving. But that's what I think I should be doing is making sure that I'm protecting you. Because guess what? I know you got my back. I know you're protecting me all the time. You protect me, and if I protect you, then I'm not in charge of my survival by myself, and you're not in charge of your survival by yourself. And that's kind of cool.
And we've talked about that before. You know, if I focus on meeting your needs and you focus on meeting my needs, then guess what? All of our needs are met. It's miraculous.
And you know where I'm going with this next quote.
Here we go.
We can wrap up the episode with my favorite movie quote of all time.
Let's do it. I know where this one's going.
All right. I got gaps. You got gaps. We fill gaps. The greatest advice ever from Rocky Balboa.
100%.
Yeah. It's, you know, in his own Rocky way of communicating. You listen to Rocky speak and you're like, that sounds so stupid. And then you think about it for a second and you're like, that's the greatest advice I've ever heard. How did it come out of that guy? But I got gaps, you got gaps, we fill gaps. That's my goal for our marriage.
And that's our secret sauce.
I think it is our secret sauce. Who knew? Rocky Balboa.
I know.
Do we owe Stallone something? We might.
No.
Yeah.
He makes tons of money on Tulsa King.
I thank God. Good.
That's all the time we have for today. Thank you so much for joining us for Unfiltered Counseling. See you next time.